America, we have a problem. The issue with Mitch McConnell goes far beyond just not knowing what is going on. It also has to do with human dignity. And yes, I'm going to say something that you're not going to expect me to say. I think that it is completely deplorable for an elderly person, even if they're evil, to be treated the way that Mitch McConnell has been treated. Take a look at these images. Does that look like human dignity? Does that look like it's okay? Now, I will acknowledge that McConnell himself has chosen to stay in office far too long. And at this point, it's really inappropriate. He has advocated against people having medical leave, and he is taking an extended stay of absence. So, when you see these images, what comes to mind for me is you can even see Adam Mockler's face here. You know, he is an independent news reporter. And you can see that there's a sorrow here. And I have personal experience on this. My grandmother, on my father's side, had a spicy brain. She was very malignant. She was very abusive. She was very #problematic. And when she started falling to dementia and Alzheimer's, both of them at the same time, I was one of her caregivers, as was my father. And I can say that no matter how terrible she was, and I'm not saying Mitch McConnell has Alzheimer's, but he has been through a significant medical problem that is going to affect his cognition. I don't ever want to look back on the memories of my grandmother when she was at her worst and make fun of her or mix up the problematic aspects of her, how she was, and those final moments in her life that were so brutal and undignified. I tried to bring her as much dignity as I could. So we just have to look at the facts. I also have a TBI, and I can tell you that my brain has healed a lot, but there's just some stuff the brain can't come back from. And there's little glitches in my brain. And when I was healing from hitting a telephone pole with my car at the age of 20, I really suffered a lot when it came to just basic functioning. I didn't know how to send an email. I didn't know who I was, and it wasn't just my usual spicy DID amnesia. It was a little bit extra, a lot of it extra. I'm dramatic, even in illness. So, I can tell you from personal experience in 2 different places in my life that no, he's not able to do this job, and no, he shouldn't be being used as a puppet, because at some point, he's no longer actually the one doing it. Other people are propping him up and using him. And it's like one of those stories from the olden times where someone is just like whispering in the king's ear. Think of like Lord of the Rings, you know? Someone just whispering in the ear, oh, and he said this, oh, he said this. He's falling down. He's a human being. As an animist, as a folk Catholic, I care about human life. Human life is precious. Now, don't go twisting that, don't go clipping that, because I am very pro-choice. So is the Bible, even the Old Testament. But I'm not going to get into that right now. What I will say is that life is precious, and nobody should go through what Mitch McConnell is going through. It is not acceptable. And it is also not acceptable for American government, American billionaires, American politicians to have power grabs where they are literally using someone like a Sesame Street puppet to inflict cruelty and continue someone's regime of bullshit long after they have clinically expired. So, I ask everyone on all sides of the political spectrum to have some basic human dignity and grace. This is not normal. This is not okay. And I will also say that people on both sides, both Republicans and Democrats, have absolutely tried to hand off power, as we're seeing with Lindsey Graham and his relative, whose name I can't remember because I have amnesia. Yeah, no, she's going to be running for a full term. And this whole thing of handing stuff off and dying or kind of lingering like a Victorian haunting in the news, we are tired. Now, I will address the photo. The photo is not AI generated. However, it was zoomed in, which garbled the text. And it is true, and this is my perspective as a gay, Mitch McConnell looks the same from almost every angle in every outfit that he wears. So, he was not there in that photo, and that's the creepypasta that we are seeing. Mitch McConnell was not spiritually present in his body, as far as I could tell. Mitch McConnell was washed and dressed, and his wife leaned over next to him. Now, why does she look young? I'm just going to go ahead and say that she just went to China, and they have really, really good beauty treatments there. And why does he look young? Well, he has some blood flow back to his lips now that he's been in the hospital, and he's no longer quite as pruny. I think, and this is my opinion as someone who's caregived for people in various states and also seen people die. It's bleak. But yeah, his face is slack. His face is slack. He is not going to return to work. There is no way that Mitch McConnell is going to return. There's no way that Mitch McConnell is going to return to work. This is not a possibility. We are moving on. We're sailing. We're sailing on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Now there's another Republican just as bad. Yeah. So, we've seen him freeze for years. We've seen him not be himself for years. I really suggest that you follow Adam Mockler, that you go and follow independent media sources, because the humanity in that coverage is excellent, and that is something that everyone on every side of the political spectrum that is a big purple circle of a black hole of doom need in their lives. So, I will leave you with this. Thank you for watching a little bit of I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell in America.